Can you, first of all, congrats on the Danny signing. Can you just take us back to Las Vegas and when you initially scouted him and what you saw?
Yeah, we'd had Danny watched about a month before in Arizona at a regional event, and there were several interesting players at that event. So Dan Locke and I actually went down to Las Vegas and watched him play. What immediately struck us about him was the range of his passing and his quality in terms of the final pass. I believe he also scored in that game and showed a really good eye for goal. And then meeting his parents, and at the time Danny had several opportunities with other clubs. You could see that they were very driven, that he behaved extremely maturely, and when we actually delved a little bit further and watched him train, he was helping in the snack bar, he was helping coach the under-9s, so we knew from the overall person, the overall human perspective, that he was someone of great interest to us.
What was the Sounders' pitch to be able to lock him down and bring him to Seattle?
You know, we talked a lot about holistic programming. You know, we have a homestay program here, and you know, when we obviously the great success of Danny is his and his parents, but taking the leap of faith. But we talked about our whole network, the homestay family, the schooling with Diane, Lauren overseeing the programming, Sheila with the welfare and the health, and then of course our coaching program and an ambitious project that we have here. That, you know, if you are good enough, you're old enough, and by then we'd started to blood young players with the USL team, and I think that all became an attractive proposition for them.
He was more of a number 10 originally, right? And then you guys dropped him back deeper. What about his skills made you think he would be better for that position, and then how has he kind of thrived there with that move?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're totally convinced about what he is yet. He does seem that he's playing a little bit deeper now than when he started with the academy. He has a real eye and nose for goal, like I mentioned, and he scored wonderful different types of goals, from distance, arriving late in the box. He's good from set pieces, but I think he's somebody that, as you've seen mature, he's able to dictate the rhythm of play, and for a 15-year-old, that's pretty impressive.
I'm sure you knew that you had a big talent on your hands, but could you have even imagined he'd be up on the first team by 15? Like, how rapid the rise has been at all surprising to you?
Yeah, of course we recognise that he had some talent and potential, but you never quite know. I think sometimes the first 6 months in our environment can be quite tough. The players are away from home, new home life, new school, new environment. We did think that he had this kind of potential, but of course this has happened very quickly, and it just goes to show the organisation that we have here and the project that we have here in order to continue to push players if we feel that they're good enough. And all credit to the first team for taking this opportunity with him. They've taken a very good long look at him. He's played well in his Defiance games and in the first team pre-season, and he's totally taken and earned his opportunity.
Danny's the first player to travel the full pathway from SDP to the academy to the Defiance to the first team. Does that what does that say about the future of the club with that infrastructure, and does his signing motivate the younger kids in the club?
Yes, it absolutely does. Of course, if you're playing our program right now, you see that this is the reality. When we started the club, you know, we had the first team and the under-16 and under-18s, and since then we've built this infrastructure of discovery program from under-12 and up. And of course the USL's had a massive impact in bridging that gap with the first team. So it is a nice point that you make there in terms of the holistic pathway that we've been able to implement.
Is it as simple as talent, or was there anything else that you saw about him, Danny, originally that made you maybe think that he would get this status or reach this status?
Character. The way he behaves, the way he conducts himself. And I think that, you know, talent will get you here, but it'll be the character that's probably got him into this environment, and I think we'll push him even further.
What would you say he needs to work on his game, aside from getting older and more physically mature, to break through with the Sounders?
You know, I think as he starts to play a little bit deeper, like we mentioned earlier, I still think maybe when he's played up with the Defiance and with the first team in pre-season, that he hasn't maybe created enough goals and possibly hasn't taken as many shots as he normally would when he's playing with the younger players. So I think as he develops his game, becomes more and more confidence that he can affect that part of his game too. And then I would probably say his defending. You know, when he's up against older, quicker players, he's going to have to make sure that he adjusts his feet and defends individually well. His reading of the game is very good, and some of that, you're right, will come with his physical development, but overall they're the two areas that I'd say he needs to continue to grow.